There's a Chilean fairy tale that has the most amazing character I've ever met. Beautiful, strong, brave, helpful. And it's a snake. It's a deliciously dark and satisfying story called Delgadina and the Snake. Delgadina and her mother are poor peasants. One day when she's washing clothes in the river, Delgadina, when she's like 5 years old, sees this little yellow snake about 6 inches long, and she tenderly cares for it, takes it home to her mom, and her mom is like, "For God's sake, child, throw that out." And she's like, "No, I want to bring it up. I love this snake." So she cares for the snake for years and years. When she's 18, it's so huge. And it also talks. She brings it its meal one day and it says, "Listen, Delgadina, I need to go away because I'm so big. I require so much food. I'm a drain on you and your poor mother." Delgadina's heartbroken. She says, "No, don't go." But the snake says, "It's okay. I'm going to leave you a fortune. Rub your hands over my eyes, get my snake tears on your hands. And then when I leave and you go wash your hands, gold coins are going to come out. And from then on, anytime you wash your hands, you will get gold." Delgadina does that. She says goodbye to the snake. They both cry. The snake slithers into the water, but then she washes her hands and she does have gold. So she runs to her mother and she's like, "Mother, mother, we can go buy some food." Her mother rejoices. They have good meals and they keep her secret a secret. But the secret does get out, and the king of the country eventually hears about it and he's like, "I'd like to marry a girl who washes her hands and gets gold. I'm already rich and that'll make me richer." He's the worst. I don't like him. He goes to his local witch who has one daughter as well and says, "Hey, I want this girl. Come bring her to me." And she's like, "Yeah, I'll go do that." So the witch goes to Delgadina. She accepts the offer happily, and the witch is taking her and her own daughter back to the palace. But as you might guess, she's got other plans. And her plan is to gouge out both of Delgadina's eyes and throw her into the ocean, which she does. She presents her own daughter to the king, who's apparently never seen her before, and she's also really ugly. And the king's like, "Well, she's ugly, but if it's true she can do the coin thing, I can live with it." So he's like, "All right, prepare for the wedding tomorrow." Luckily, a couple of fishermen find Delgadina in the sea. They help her out, and they even put some ointment on her eyes. It doesn't heal them, but maybe keeps infection away. They think she's an angel who fell from heaven, and she's like, "Look, I'm just a girl. Here's literally what happened to me." But they're like, "Nah, we think you're an angel. We're just gonna keep you around and revere you." The king marries the other girl, and the party is so huge that the guests still had bottles in their hands the following morning. The king's been waiting for the girl to wash her hands, and when she finally does the next morning and no gold comes out, he's like, "Wait, hold on. This is the reason I married you. What's up?" She says, "Well, gold coins used to flow from my hands, but by sleeping with you last night, I lost my charm. It's all your fault." Which is actually such a great lie and such a good dig that he's just like, "Oh, well, okay, I guess I can't do anything about it. We're married now." Meanwhile, Delgadina's on the shore while the fishermen go out fishing, and she suddenly hears, "Delgadina, what are you doing here?" And she gasps, and the voice says, "Do you know me?" And she says, "Yes," trembling with joy, "You're my snake." She tells the serpent what happened, and the serpent begins to weep bitterly and says, "Oh, my poor Delgadina." Delgadina feels for the snake, they embrace, and the snake says, "Pass your hands over my eyes and then put your hands in your eye sockets." And she does that, and she opens her eyes. They have returned to her. Not only does she have eyes again, they are now a deep sea green. The snake says, "Can you see my little friend?" And she says, "Yes, yes, I can, thank you." "Are you happy?" the serpent asked, and she hugged the serpent tighter, so happy. The snake's like, "All right, get your stuff. We got a long way to go." Because she doesn't know where she is. She's been blinded. So the snake takes her home. She joyfully runs to her mother, tells her mother what happened, and they start to just live together happily. But again, finally, the king hears rumors that the girl who does wash her hands and create gold has returned, and he says, "Well, I'm in a fine pickle. I'm stuck with the wrong wife." So to solve the problem, he invites the entire kingdom to come feast at his palace. He has finger bowls brought out, which are like old-timey bowls of water that you would wash your fingers in at the table. And he's watching everyone who's gonna have gold come from their hands? And when Delgadina does it, gold comes from her hands and he's like, you're the one I meant to marry. He says, "Grab the witch and her daughter. We're gonna heat up the ovens for them." And they tied them as you would tie a hog for slaughter, put them in the oven so piping hot that they turned to ashes even before they hit the flames. Damn. And literally says, "I may have been rich before, but now I'll be rolling in gold." Because it's clear that's all she means to him. The story ends with them having a wedding feast for 8 days and living happily ever after, and there's no mention of the snake. So in my mental rewrite, she gets rid of the king, because he sucks, and lives in the palace with her beloved snake for the rest of her life. That's the kind of ending I want. If you like the way I reimagine fairy tales, you should check out my book, Dust Spells, a reimagining of the 12 Dancing Princesses, my podcast too. All the links are in the bio.